Hello, I Tasin Sultana, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Government First Grade College, Preseton. In this session, I will be discussing personal finance and investment. The objective of learning this is to provide an understanding of mutual fund as an investment outlet and personal finance and investment. The session outcome is students will be able to understand the personal finance and investment options, various investment options available to an investor. In the previous session, I have given introduction of personal finance and investment. These are the various investment options. Before we go to these investment options, let us understand what is this investment options. See, every person want to safeguard his money against inflation, taxation, and has an aim that it grows. But then one need to select the right financial product. The purpose of investment may vary from person to person depending upon his requirement, short term or long term, for future requirements, growth, children's education, marriage, buy goods, property, etc. There are abundant opportunities and avenues open for the investors to meet his needs. However, careful selection of appropriate avenues are very essential. Now, these are the investment options: fixed deposit, post office savings instrument, stock market, precious metals like gold and silver, real estate, ULIP, antique, bonds, and mutual funds. Let us try to understand this one by one. So let us first go to fixed deposits. What do you mean by fixed deposit? Fixed deposit is a financial instrument where an investment is made for a fixed period of time, resulting in a fixed rate of interest in return. This is best suited for investors with a low risk and who want to invest a large sum of money to earn a fixed rate of interest. There are different types of fixed deposits. The first one is bank fixed deposit. Next is company fixed deposit, fixed maturity plan. Let us see this and try to understand one after the other. Bank fixed deposit. These are kind of fixed deposits which are made with a bank. The tenure can vary from 15, 30, 45 days and also 3 months, 6 months, 1 year and 5 years or 10 years and varies from bank to bank. The minimum deposit amount and the rate of interest will also vary from bank to bank. These are considered as safe investment as they are insured up to 1 lakh under the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Scheme of India and provide an assured rate of return. Investors also have the flexibility to take the interest income as a lump sum amount on its maturity or may opt for monthly, quarterly, or annual interest options. One must not forget the dynamics of investing in fixed deposit that variables like tax and inflation affect real returns. The interest earned on fixed deposit of all types of banks, corporate, etc., is added to the income of assessee. Tax would be at the rate 10% or 20%, 30%, depending upon the applicable individual tax slab. Now, the next is company fixed deposit. These are kind of fixed deposit which are made with a company, financial institution, non-banking financial institution, that is NBFC. The minimum deposit amount and the rate of interest varies from company to company depending upon the amount and the period of investment. Investment in company fixed deposit is unsecured than bank fixed deposit because if the company default, the investor cannot sell his document and recover the investment amount. Also, the sum invested is not insured. The benefit of investing in company fixed deposit is that one gets higher interest rate as against bank fixed deposit and no income tax is deducted at source if the interest income is up to rupees 10,000 in one financial year. That is the benefit of company fixed deposit. So investors prefer this compared to bank fixed deposit. The next category of fixed deposit is fixed maturity plan. This kind of investment is similar to fixed deposit in terms of tenure but varies in terms of assured returns. This is a kind of mutual fund scheme offered by mutual fund companies, providing an indication of the returns an investor can expect but do not give assured returns. These are closed-ended schemes, which mean that an investor can only enter them when they are launched and exit them when their pre-stated term is over. The next categories of investment schemes are post office saving instrument. Small saving schemes are designed to provide safe and attractive investment options to the public, and at the same time it mobilizes resources for development projects of the government. So there are three kinds of post office saving instrument: savings account, Kisan Vikas Patra, National Saving Certificate. Saving account. The bank and post office saving account are the primary saving product that anyone can open. However, it provides low returns of 4 to 5% only. The amount in this account makes sense only if the credit balance is sufficient to cover the needs that are supposed to arise in a short period, since it offers highest liquidity. One can withdraw the funds required at any given point of time through multiple modes: direct withdrawals from bank, through ATMs, and also with the enhancement in banking facilities like net banking, one can transfer the required funds through electronic mode too. And the next is Kisan Vikas Patra. Kisan Vikas Patra is a savings scheme that was announced by Government of India, which doubles the money invested in 8 years and 7 months. The Directorate of Small Savings Government of India sells these saving bonds through all post offices in the country so that the scheme can be accessed by citizens from all over the country. A KVP, that is Kisan Vikas Patra, can be encashed after 2.5 years from the date of issue at the value it has been bought along with the interest accrued for the period. The revenue mobilized by this scheme will be used by Government of India in welfare schemes for farmers. The next one is National Savings Certificate. The investment in NSC are eligible under Section 80C of Income Tax Act. The annual interest income also qualifies for tax rebate under Section 80C of Income Tax Act, and it is deemed to be reinvested. Here, the individuals and minors through guardians are eligible to invest. The period of investment is generally 5 years. The interest income is taxable but not deducted at source. The next is Provident Public Provident Fund, that is PPF. Public Provident Fund is a statutory scheme by the central government of India. It is one of the instruments suitable for long-term investment. PPF scheme is for a period of 15 years and can be extended further for a period of 3 years each time. The interest is announced annually in the budget and is of the order of today it is 8.7%. The minimum investment required in PF account is rupees 500 per year, and the maximum investment amount is rupees 1,50,000 per year. One can take a loan on the PF account after completion of the third year opening of the account. Partial withdrawal is also applicable after 4 years completion of account opening. Any individual who is a native of India can open a PPF account, that is Public Provident Fund account. The next investment option is stock market. Stock market is one of the interesting investment options. This is the investment option which offers a very high rate of return coupled with maximum risk. There are many factors which affect a stock price fluctuations, so it is extremely difficult to predict the future share prices because the stock market runs on probability. So, based on information and analysis, future share prices are predicted, but the probability of the share prices reaching the target price is always a 50-50% chance. So, as there are many factors which affect the share price of a company, and this price target is predicted based on certain assumption, if the assumption becomes incorrect, the chances of shares reaching the target price decreases. So one should take a note of additional point that liquidity of the stock, volume of share traded on daily basis, and the volatility of the shares, the difference between the highest price and the lowest price for the day before investing into the stock market. One has to be very, very vigilant when he invests his money in the stock market, and he has to keep watching the stock market for increase or decrease in the prices so that he can take a right step at the right time. Now, next is investment option is precious metals. So there are two precious metals, gold and silver. So gold is a very important investment option. The shining yellow metal is one of the most popular investment option. It is considered as a safe against all national, political and cultural crises. Millions of people, financial institutions, government invest in gold as a store of value. Traditionally, gold has been considered as the most favorite currency of the world's population based on gold standards. The value of gold is negatively correlated to shares. When the economy is not stable, the price of gold appreciates. When the economy is stable, the price of gold depreciates. Gold returns are also linked to the performance of Indian rupee versus US dollars. Since gold price in international market are quoted in US dollars, the positive of investing in gold is it improves the consistency of the investment. The majority of the financial planners recommend around 15 to 20% allocation of total portfolio to the gold. So they recommend that 15 to 20% of their investment should consist in gold. So next instrument is silver. Silver considered as a poor man's gold. In one of the attractive investment option, gold is preferred over silver by all investors. The silver market is much smaller in value than gold market. Silver is better investment in a bull market. Price of silver is driven by speculation and supply and demand. Silver price is significantly volatile. This is because of lower market liquidity and demand. The next investment option is real estate. Real estate refers to investment in immovable properties like land, building, flats, etc. Investing in real estate involves the purchase of real estate and selling it for profit. Basically, investment in real estate involves a substantial investment and for a long period of time. Majority of the investors invest in real estate in the form of buying a house, but real estate investment is beyond this, and the objective behind the investment is to make profit. Before making a real estate investment, the investor should and evaluate the risk and investment amount. The difference of real estate investment are as follows. There can be a rental investment, there can be a trading investment, or then can be for a long-term investment. So trading refers to real estate makes a quick profit by buying the property for a short term and selling it for a profit. That is trading in real estate. Long term investment refers to there's certain group of investors who invest in real estate, basically a plot of land from a long term perspective. The objective is over a period of time, the value of the property will rise and the owner will make the profit by selling it. The next investment option is unit linked insurance plans. It is also called as ULIP, unit linked insurance plans. Popularly known as ULIPs, is an investment cum insurance option provided by insurance company. It is a single contract comprising of insurance cover with an investment benefit. The insurance company allots units to the ULIP investors and the net asset value is calculated and declared on the daily basis. An investment in ULIP is divided into two parts, that is life cover premium and investment. So the next investment option is antiques. Majority of the investors do not consider buying antiques as an investment. Investing in antique is quite difficult for an average investor. Antiques are extremely vulnerable to fluctuations in public demand, so they are considered high risk speculative investments. There are instances where a painting was sold at an exorbitant price. Antiques have always been good investment. In many categories, it has outperformed the stock market. But like any investment, one can make mistakes without good knowledge. So the next investment options are bond. Bonds and debentures are other lucrative investment options available. Bonds, which get listed on the secondary market, offer dual benefit. Firstly, fixed interest income in the form of coupon rates, and secondly, capital appreciation. Since bonds value can appreciate based on prevailing market conditions and interest rates, there are different categories of bonds like tax-free bonds where interest income from the same is exempted from tax. So this topic we have also covered in the previous concepts. So I hope you have understood what I have explained you now. Thank you very much for your patience listening.